Get ready to accelerate your communication and your presentation skills. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Online Presenters. Our theme today is June is busting out all over. We are a virtual advanced Toastmasters Club, and we celebrate and we accelerate and we just get going. And as we move into the summer season, many of us are experiencing growth, new opportunities, and perhaps even a little renewal. Our theme for the day, again, is June is busting out all over. Now, what else can bust out is hopefully we will grow our communication skills the same way that summer grows flowers. To our guests, we're delighted that you're here this evening. Membership in Online Presenters is open to current or former Toastmasters. All you have to do is have completed at least 6 speeches, or if you're an experienced presenter, you may also apply. Just deliver a short demonstration speech. All applications are subject to renewal by and approval by our members. Now, let's see here. We're a global club. We have members joining from many countries around the world, and so please be mindful of language or cultural sensitivity as we support one another's growth as communicators and leaders. A couple of housekeeping rules. Our meeting is being recorded, so please, if at all possible, make sure that you're mindful of language and cultural sensitivity because we support one another's growth as communicators and leaders. And the meeting is also being recorded. If you prefer not to be included, please check the chat for opt-out instructions. And kindly mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Now, please help me welcome to the virtual stage our president, Joni Laidlaw. Welcome, Joni.
Thank
Joni,
you,
are you
thank
there?
you, thank you, Sunny, for that introduction. Now, where we are right now, it is sunny here in Jamaica, even though technically it's not up, but you still feel it. With that, we are going to be busting out all over because it's June. But before we do that, the important part of a Toastmasters Club is the renewal, not just of membership, but also the renewal of new life. New members who are either renewing to the Toastmasters experience or it's their first time as a Toastmaster. Well, we have some new members to induct. So with that, I am going to be calling on our Vice President of Membership, Allison Blakeman, to do the honors. Over to you, Ali.
All right. Thank you, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and most importantly, MJ and Jace. And fellow Toastmasters, please hold your applause until the very end. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct both MJ and Jace into our Online Presenters Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion for both MJ and Jace, and for our club as well. They have come to Online Presenters Toastmasters Club seeking to improve their communication, leadership, and most importantly, their online presentation skills. Toastmasters and seeking to improve, okay, now we have the opportunity, sorry about that, to help them learn, grow, and achieve their goals. MJ and Jace, you are joining Online Presenters, a club within a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people around the world learn to communicate more effectively. As members of Online Presenters Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. As experienced Toastmasters, we are now tasked to help both MJ and Jace get off to a great start. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards, yet it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things that we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves, to share our knowledge and experience with our fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently toward your own self-development, evaluate others' speeches in a spirit of support and sharing, assist the club in reaching our goals, remain positive, and keep a smile on your face. We ask you, our new member, to dedicate yourselves to personal growth and to share this great gift with your fellow members and help keep this Toastmasters Club strong and dynamic. Do you, MJ and Jace, in the presence of your fellow members of Online Presenters Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly, prepare fully for each assignment, to apply yourself to the projects outlined in the Toastmasters education program, to participate actively in club meetings, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with your fellow members, to invite other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, fellow Toastmasters, please join me as we read. Actually, they did that. Okay. Please help me as we read our club motto. We, the members of Online Presenters Toastmasters Club, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with a positive, helpful evaluations, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters a rewarding and fulfilling experience. And
we do.
So we all.
We do.
We do.
We do.
I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you,
yes.
everyone.
Woo. Yes. Applause.
A round of applause now. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yay!
Welcome. Two of us. Two of us.
And then back to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Vice President of Education. Normally, Graham says one of us. I like hearing two of us. Hopefully next time it's three of us, whenever we do it. Remember, it's time for renewals. We're almost, everybody, we're so close to being first time ever in history. Smedley Distinguished is literally one member away. I have to say, it's been an excellent year. Thank you, everyone, for the amazing contribution that you have made so far. And I look forward to what we do for the rest of the year. With that, I will state that there is an online contest coming up, which David will talk about in our tip of the day. But there's also a tipathon. I'm looking at you, Kim, Mr. Great Blondini. Want to see it? Just 3 to 5 minutes. Do a magic trick. Sign up for the tipathon. We have 6 spaces. It's the 29th of June. For everyone here, you know how to do it. Giving a shout out for that from now. Taking us through the meeting today is our Vice President of Education. We had a very special theme, which he's going to explain why June is busting out all over. Everyone, round of applause for Graham Carnes.
Hey, thank you, Madam President. Thank you, everybody, for coming along today. The theme for the meeting, my name, by the way, is Graham Cairns, and I am your Toastmaster for today. The theme for today is June is busting out all over. Why the theme June is busting out all over? Because it's the 1st of June, and June is busting out all over, except for those of us on the other side of the international date line, in which case it busted out yesterday, and we're still picking up the pieces. June is busting out all over, of course, is a song, a Rodgers and Hammerstein song. Many years ago, I worked for a radio station which every Tuesday morning between 11 and 11:30 used to play nothing but show tunes. That is, we would play 30 minutes or 25 minutes after the news of show tunes from Rodgers and Hammerstein and from Andrew Lloyd Webber and any show that we felt like doing, except that we were specifically told that under no circumstances were we ever to feature the music from the musical Carousel. Why? Because the office manager at the radio station that we worked at had, as a young woman, blossomed early in high school. And you know how cruel high school boys and girls can be. And the poor unfortunate woman's name was June, and they would always sing June is busting out all over. And so we were not allowed to play any songs from that musical. We could do Brigadoon, we could do all of them, except we couldn't do from Carousel. And so I've always wanted to give June is busting out all over a chance, but I'm not going to sing it. You can feel good about that. Our word of the day, related to June and summer and busting out all over, is renewal. The act or process of renewing or repetition, the quality of state of being renewed, renewing something like a subscription to a magazine. Oh, by the way, here's a piece of advice. It being the beginning of the month, you may wish to consider on a monthly basis, or at least on a quarterly basis, doing an audit of your subscriptions. What are the magazines? What are the streaming services? What are all of those things that you pay for and that you forget that you're paying for? Maybe once every 6 months, maybe once every 3 months, maybe once every month. You should do an audit and think, do I really need Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney and? Ask yourself those questions. But anyway, renewal is what it is all about today, and those are the theme for the meeting and the word of the day. We have had our member induction ceremony, so it's now time to move on to something which is, if not unique to this club, it is certainly not widely given, and that is the tip of the day. This is where we present a tip. Might be a technical tip, might be a leadership tip, might be a tip related specifically to this club, but we present a tip of the day for between 3 and 5 minutes. The tip of the day is going to be presented by David Carr, and he'll be helping me in my role as VP Ed by talking about what's happening next week. David Carr, here's your tip of the day.
It is the week after next. It is June 15th. So we do have a little bit of time to prepare for it. But of the menu of things that Graham just recited for you, this is something pertaining to our club. It is how you go about winning this virtual trophy over here. The webinar contest prize, the intergalactic award that says that you are excellent at online presentation, which is the point of this club. And so very shortly after Online Presenters was founded back in 2017 by me and Graham and Dr. Byrne and some other folks, we decided that we should do something different. We should do a contest that specifically tested these skills. So rather than pretending that we're giving a conventional speech, but we just happen to be giving it to a webcam rather than a group of people sitting in front of us, this is a speech in which you are invited to use visual special effects, online screen effects, anything out of the tech toys that you might want to use. Although I would point out that it is not the case that the prize goes to whoever uses the most toys. It is who uses them effectively to convey a message. So I did want to share just a few things with you. If you go a couple of weeks ahead, not the 8th, but the 15th, here is the agenda. Jace has actually volunteered to serve as our contest master. I'll be the chief judge administering the event. And then we have 3 speakers signed up so far, room for 3 more. And actually, if you scroll down here, there's this place for the judges to sign up. Ooh, wait a minute. The judges are supposed to be secret. Well, no, not in this. Not in this, because this is just something that we do for fun, for our own education. We don't necessarily follow all of the standard Toastmasters international rules and practices. So we will have an opportunity for judges to sign up right here. Now, at the top of this, you'll see a link that says see the rules here. If you click there, there is an explanation of how the contest is organized, how the format is different. we have tinkered with this quite a bit over the years, actually, but this will be a 5 to 7 minute speech that you give in the online format, obviously. And you are challenged to try and create some kind of audience engagement during the session, which we think is one of the more challenging things, actually, about reaching through the webcam to connect with a group of people. And so you are supposed to create audience engagement, but I have spelled out in the rules for this year that you may not just invite people to all unmute and have a conversation, because we didn't have that explicitly spelled out, but we're simulating the large commercial webinar where there are hundreds of people signed in and everybody's on mute. Actually, in the Zoom webinar format, you could promote somebody from the audience to be a co-presenter and allow them to speak and use the online tools. But we don't have time for that in 5 to 7 minutes, for one thing. But also, we want to test your ability to create engagement where you don't have those tools available, the tool of being able to speak directly to people, to hear your audience. And so what you can do is ask for questions in the chat. There actually will be a chat manager assigned who can assist the speaker in keeping track of any questions entered in the chat. You can ask people to use the reaction buttons in Zoom. You can use some external tool, such as a polling tool, if you want. We will not make the Zoom polling tool available to you because that requires the administrator to set it up. So within those constraints, you will have the judges will have a digital ballot that they can fill out that has a screen something like this, where they can go in, and also there is a factor of a call to action that you are supposed to achieve. Again, sort of a concept from online marketing webinars. There should be some conclusion that you bring the presentation to where you ask people to do something, take action, buy, change their lives, whatever it is. But we'll score you on this. So this is a different speech criteria set than you have for the International Speech Contest. Hopefully, it's all different in good and positive ways. And I invite you to jump in there, sign up to compete. If you don't want to compete, sign up to serve one of the supporting roles and help us out. I'll post the links for all that into the chat right now.
Excellent. Thank you, David. So that's coming up in 2 weeks. Please make sure that you participate in the contest, the webinar contest, which is something that this club does that meets our raison d'etre, that is online presenting. So there you go. Moving on now to the Toastmasters meeting proper, as it were, to the what happens in a normal Toastmasters meeting. And everybody here is either a member or a visiting Toastmaster, so I probably don't need to do this, but maybe I do for the recording if you're watching this at some other time. In a traditional Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 segments. There is a prepared presentation segment where people deliver prepared presentations. Well, duh. There is an impromptu presentation segment where people get to present what we call table topics, 1 to 2 minute impromptu presentations. And then there is evaluation, because everything that we do is given feedback. There is no point in us sitting here, standing here, delivering without getting feedback. So those will be the 3 segments that will come up over the next hour, well, actually 55 minutes or thereabouts. To do that effectively, we need to have some people who assist me in my role as Toastmaster. One of those very important ones is the timekeeper. And today's timekeeper is Annie Martin. Annie, can you please explain how you will be indicating the times for people? Don't actually run through what they will do, but how you will indicate them so that people know when they are ready to go, when they should shut up, that sort of thing. Annie.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I will endeavour that my visual image is on the top left of your screen because my hand is raised, so you can look there. And then if you're doing a speech and you've hit the 5-minute mark, it will look like that. the 6-minute mark, it will look like that. And the 7-minute mark, it will look like that. And if you're going more than 7.5 minutes, I might start to flash so you can think something's up. I will need to wrap it up. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Fabulous. Thank you, Annie. Our R counter today is Alison Blakeman, the Wizard of R's. Probably my least favorite role, but I know it's necessary. So, Alison, tell us about the R counter.
Mr. Toastmaster of the day, I'm the evil villain of the club meeting tonight. I will be listening very intently for those pesky filler words, ums, ands, or so's. Well, but you know, Mr. Toastmaster, somebody's got to be here to do it and catch those, so why not me? Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Ali, and you'll do it well as you always do. I thank you for that. Our grammarian today is Sherry Blake. Sherry, tell us about the grammarian's role.
Good evening. Thank you so much for that. So my role is...
You've just muted yourself somehow.
Wait, black. Oh my gosh.
You're back.
I'm back?
You're back.
My screen is black. I can't see any of you. Okay, so real quick, I don't know what's happening with my laptop. My role is to track the word of the day and to also, I know what happened. Brightness went down, okay. And I'm going to be looking for good use of language. Back to you.
Fabulous. Thank you, Sherry. We will look forward to your report a little later. A role that's only used in online meetings like this one is the role of watcher. Jim, tell us about the watcher role, Jim Barber.
With pleasure, Mr. Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters. As the watcher this evening, I'm basically going to be a visual grammarian. I do not care what you say. I do not care how you say it. I only care how you look when you are saying it. So I will be looking for lighting. I will be looking for framing, all different aspects of your visual appearance, and I will give a report at the end of the meeting.
Fabulous. I'll look forward to that report as well, Jim. Our chat monitor, that's something that is, I've never seen it delivered in another club, but I love it. Chat monitor, MJ Bush, can you tell us what you'll be doing as chat monitor?
Okay, yes, I'll be looking at all the chat and making notes about the most interesting things that we can find there and who's contributing. And at the end of the meeting, I will give a report about that.
Excellent. And that report, once again, I will look forward to. The vote counter, David Carr, technical wizard, doyen, all that sort of stuff. David, are you going to be using your handy dandy super whiz bang electronic counter voter thing?
I will, if the internet gods are with me more than they were a few minutes ago. I don't know how much of the time I was talking and nobody was hearing me. I will post links in the chat for the webinar contest, and as we go through our meeting today, I will post links in the chat for you to vote. Guests are welcome and encouraged to vote.
Now you're on mute, Graham.
I need to turn my microphone back on. Silly boy. Your internet froze just as you finished, or perhaps you finished because the internet froze. But either way, it was a perfect point to end. So thank you very much for doing that. Now, before we get into the speaking part of the evening, Andrew Byrne, you were originally down as a speaker. I had taken you off the agenda because you were going to be at another meeting. So we don't have an evaluator for you. Did you still wish to speak tonight? In which case we shall arrange an evaluator, or shall we hold your speech over till next meeting? You're muted.
Well, we hold the next meeting.
We'll hold it till next meeting. Perfect. Thank you very much for that. So that gives us one speech for next week at least, which is a good thing. Thank you, Andrew. For those who were wondering what's going on here, Andrew was scheduled to speak tonight, but was called upon to fulfill another role at his district. And like all good Toastmasters, he somehow managed to do both, but I'm under control now, so we're going to keep moving on. Time now for the first of our speakers, and that is Simmer Dillon. Now, Simmer tonight is speaking from the visionary communication path. This is a level 1 task, mastering fundamentals. It's the evaluation and feedback second speech. What happens is Simmer delivers a speech, she gets an evaluation, she then delivers the same or a different speech based specifically on the advice that she was given. This speech is going to explore how tone, pace, body language, and vocal variety can completely change the meaning of the same sentence. Through demonstrations and storytelling, the audience will experience how communications goes far beyond words alone. The time for this is 5 to 7 minutes. So timekeeper Annie, if you can give a green indication at 5 minutes, a yellow at 6, and a red at 7. Toastmasters and friends, please welcome Simmer Dillon with One Sentence, Many Voices. One sentence, many voices, Simmer Dillon.
We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One voice, 4 identical words. Yet I just ignited 3 entirely different reactions in this room. The first word pushed you back like a threat. The second tightened your chest like a crisis. And the third opened a safe harbor. Too often, leaders focus entirely on what they say. We scratch out and rewrite our emails. We tweak our presentation slides. We hide behind rigid tags. We completely ignore how we sound. The truth is, one voice carries many meanings. As we launch the Sharp Leadership Academy globally, why? Because across the globe, we see trust eroding and empathy vanishing. Look at how we work today. Leaders scramble to manage teams across continents. We stare into the screen on Zoom. We dash off quick texts on WhatsApp and then shout into a digital void. In this rush for speed, we tear down human connection. Think about it. When a leader say, I value your input, but snap their laptop shut or glance at their watches, and what does team do? They shrink, they shut down, they hear the truth that they are an inconvenience. Who want that? Nobody wants. When your words say one thing, but your tone drives a wedge in the room, that is a failure of integrity. Arrogance has a pitch. Fear has a pace. People don't just read our strategies. They absorb our frequency. At the Sharp Leadership Academy, we teach you to wield your voice as your most powerful tool. To command a room, you must master three vocal pillars. First, the pitch of authenticity. When stress hits, a leader's voice naturally tightens and climbs. A high pitch signals panic, and true leaders anchor their breath. We lower the pitch to steady the room. It says, the storm is here, but I am standing firm. Second, the pace of inclusion. When speaking to a global audience, racing through your words lock people out. Speed isolates non-native speakers, but when you intentionally slow down and anchor to deliberate pace, you extend an invitation. You carve a space where everyone belongs. And the third is the pause of humility. The most powerful moments happens when you silence the noise. Weak leadership floods every second with words. And ethical leaders step back, hold the pose. When you drop a deliberate pause after a tough question, you shift the weight of the room. You open the door for others. It says, I am listening. The Sharp Leadership Academy wasn't built to train managers who simply check boxes, hit targets. We built to forge visionary leaders who build psychological safety across borders. As I close today, I challenge every one of you to stand up and audit your own frequency. Don't just memorize your words, embody your presence. Take a bold step forward. And remember, words sketch the blueprint of our organization, but your tone builds the house of trust. Let us speak with clarity. Let us listen with humility. And let us lead the world toward a global renewal, one resonance voice at a time. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Sima. We hear you. We hear you. We hear you. Thank you. Actually, I spent 40 years in radio where the biggest enemy was dead air. And hence I tend to move at too great a clip, particularly for those for whom my accent is a barrier. And so, for the rest of this meeting at least, I will attempt to use pause, pace, and clarity rather than tripping over my own tongue. Now, one of the things I love about Toastmasters is our willingness to change things that are going to happen. For example, the evaluation for your presentation would normally come up much later in the meeting to give Jace the chance to prepare his evaluation. But of course, that would also give Jace the chance for his laptop to completely die. Apparently, it is very close to doing so now, and he didn't bring his charger. And so I'm going to bring forward his evaluation now, if that's acceptable for Jace. So to prepare or to present his evaluation of Sima's speech, please welcome Jace.
One voice, many meaning. What a captivated title. You actually caught my attention by actually coming up with a great hookup that is, we need to talk, which expresses that voice matters. And then from the beginning until the end, your hand gestures were illustrative. You seemed more unflappable during the transition from one phrase to another phrase. And then I have to give more importance to your body language. You seem more comfortable delivering your speech, which actually expresses that you're more confident and also more vigilant and vivacious, especially when you actually deliver your speech. And then the way you present yourself as a speaker, the way you dressed up yourself today, which actually says how professional you are. And then the pace was so amazing. I was able to understand your words, I was able to catch up your lines because of your beautiful pace. You were aware of all the phases, and you were aware of the nuances, how to use pace in certain way that would actually make the audience feel understand your speech. Well done. And you talked about three pillars. The first pillar is pitch off, and then inclusion, and the pause of humanity. So all these three components captivated me. So in terms of tone, pace, and vocal variety, body language, you did Well, however, now I'm going to give a renewal for your speech, and here we go. And the first one is, in some parts of your speech, your voice was monotonous. So, for example, when you were saying one voice carries many things, instead you could have said one voice carries many things. Isn't it, people? This is how you have to express your emotion in lower speech. And when you talked about three pillars, that is such as pitch of inclusion and the pause of humanity. So the pause, of course, we as public speakers should give the utmost importance to pauses. It would have been done even more better if you could have elaborated on pauses even more well. Where to pause and where not to pause. So what kind of real life challenges you faced when you are actually delivering your speech, and how pauses actually created a great impact on your speech. And then we have inclusion. It's actually a powerful statement, I would say. If you could have talked about the scenario where you felt unseen, where you felt unheard, where you felt ostracized, that would have given me a vivid image. And then we have the pause of humanity. Humanity is really important, and the pause of humanity is also important. So, to sum up, it was a great speech, a little bit of a voice modulation, and a high pitch and low pitch, and would do wonders in your speech. And thank you so much. And back to you, Graham.
Thank you, Jace. Thank you for that evaluation. That will, by the way, Jace is completing the evaluation and feedback module of level 1, I believe. So thank you for doing that today, Jace. And we'll have more details coming up in the general evaluation section a little later this evening or this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are with Joni. Moving now to our second speaker. And our second speaker for today is Jenny Ayala. Now, Jenny is doing visionary communications, and this is again a level 1 project, Mastering Fundamentals. This is the evaluation and feedback first speech. Jenny first joined Toastmasters in September 2015, beginning her journey of growth and communication and leadership. After some time away, she has recently rejoined, demonstrating her renewed commitment to personal development. Jenny is originally from Colombia, and she proudly carries her rich cultural heritage with her. She's also a devoted wife and loving mother of 2 daughters, balancing family, career, life while continuing to pursue her goals. Today, she'll be presenting her level 1 speech from the Visionary Communication Path Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. In this speech, she'll focus on enhancing how she uses her voice and physical presence to better connect with her audience after her previous evaluator provided feedback. Let's give her our full attention and a very warm welcome, and join me in welcoming Jenny Ayala with Coming to America Our Way. Coming to America Our Way, Jenny Ayala.
Good morning, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. We all have moments in life when everything changes at once. A new place, a new beginning, and a future we can't quite predict. For my family, that moment came when we moved to the United States. When my husband was laid off, he did not give up. With courage and determination, he started driving a taxi. Because the way we came, he was as an electronic engineer in telecommunications. But after September 11, the towers attack, he got laid off for that reason. And he started driving a taxi and went on to build his small business company. Potomac Taxi had a partnership with Loudoun County in Virginia, and its mission was to provide safe and accessible transportation that empowers single mothers and female heads of household to overcome barriers to employment and self-sufficient. We connect individuals to childcare, job training, and employment opportunities. Having experienced struggles ourselves, Potomac Taxi was committed to helping others overcome similar obstacles. On the other hand, as parents, we worry the most about our daughter. New country, new language, new school. How would she survive? Every night we sat together and read the same book, Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. Again and again and again. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them 7 a.m. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? We repeat it every day. And at first, she just listened. Then she repeated. Then she understood. And in just 6 months, of course, participating in ESOL program at school, she learned English. And not only that, after that, she became one of the best readers in her class. I love how the library was with the software programs, and she just read the books and answered the questionnaires and earning her diplomas. That is something that a teaching in our lives that renew our minds, that is coming from confusion to confidence. But while she was rising, our family faced another challenge, the 2001 anthrax attacks, letters, invisible danger, right there in Washington, D.C. And near our area, our mailbox in Sterling City died for anthrax. And I remember opening our mail in the balcony with gloves and a mask. I'm a chemist, but this is not the way that I use those protective equipment. But life doesn't wait for perfect timing. Looking back, our journey was not easy. We arrived during fear. We faced uncertainty. We struggled, but we adapted. We learned, and we also grew. We discovered that we had a strength and we didn't know we had. We started renewing our minds from those experiences and give us faith and a strength to keep going, moving forward. We found hope in small victories and we built a new life together. Today, when I think about that journey, I don't just remember the fear. I remember the beautiful Loudoun County, being in the Washington, D.C. museums. I remember that little girl reading with confidence and a man who refused to give up. And remember this, every new beginning feels uncomfortable, but with patience, courage, and persistence, it can become your greatest story. Back to you, Mr. Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for that inspiring presentation today. I won't say any more because that's the role of your evaluator and the general evaluator. But again, I thank you for renewing my faith in the future. Thank you for that. Moving on now to as mentioned earlier, the impromptu speaking session. Oh, by the way, can I get the timings for both speakers and for the earlier evaluator? Just put them into the chat if you would like, Annie. Or you can come on camera and tell us. Choice is yours, but they'll be in the chat, no doubt. Moving now to our impromptu speaking section of the meeting. Our table topics master for today is Andrei Smolenko. So Andrei, please present table topics and explain what our members and guests will be called upon to do.
Thank you very much, Graham, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, my fellow online presenters. I'm Andrei, and I will be your table topics master. We all probably have done table topics before. Just a brief recap of what is that. One of my favorite parts of Toastmasters in general is impromptu speaking. It's when you call up and during the meeting by your children, by your wife. There are lots and lots of circumstances where this particular skill will come really, really handy. And the skill we're going to test today is, I'm asking you a question. I'll pick on any one of you, ask you a question, and you would have to deliver the speech on the spot. Speech lasting between 1 to 2 minutes. And once you've spoken for more than 1 minute, you will be taking part in the contest. So we will get a chance to vote for you as the best table topics speaker. So the rules are simple, and the theme for this evening is all about renewal, summer, a lovely time that we all look forward to. And the first question that I would love to ask is John Christensen. John, you are the president of Mosquitoes. What is your summer campaign promise? The stage is yours.
Thank you for the question, Topics Matter. I'm the president of Mosquitoes. What is my summer promise? You know how much I love mosquitoes. Growing up in Utah, 15 minutes from the mountains, and we had them all over. So if I'm the president and I have control to eradicate them, as long as it goes with cilantro too, because they're both an abomination, I'm going to make a serious promise that the renewal will be gone forever. And I still don't know what the value of a mosquito is, besides them sucking our blood, making us itch. And some people are allergic to them, get these nasty boils and other things on. What's the purpose? And downstairs, I got fruit flies over too. What's the purpose? I don't even know where they're coming from. I'm like using ChatGPT and Google. Where did they come from? This is probably my dream, probably my garbage, but can't find it. So I'm plagued. So can I also told myself to be the president of getting rid of fruit flies, even though I don't know where they're from? And thank you so much for the question, Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you very much, John. Well, I have a feeling that presidents of Mosquitoes, it could be a speech, perhaps, for you for the next time. The second question, or just really something I'm really, really curious to know, we'll go to MJ Bush. MJ, please convince us that socks with sandals is the ultimate fashion trend. Socks with sandals is the ultimate fashion trend for the summer.
What? No. Okay. Socks with sandals, it's the newest trend. You wear the socks and you go up with your sandals, you go out, have a sunny day, get a nice tan, and then you have this fashionable line across your ankle, and you can add a little bracelet to it and show it off, because what could be more attractive? And then you could also wear wonderful decorated socks, fancy socks, toe socks, glitter socks, anything to dress up the sandal. And then, of course, the the best would be if you have the high ankles, the ones that come all the way across, half of your calf. That would be probably the most flattering, and give you the best tan line, right? So I would highly recommend the socks with the sandals. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Cherry Bush. Sold well. And interestingly enough, the socks with the sandals is the feature of Eastern European men in the summertime. And when I still see them, they're, oh yeah, probably my fellow countrymen somewhere on holidays. But thank you. Right. The next, something I'm really curious about. Again, I would like to ask Kim. Kim, are you with us? Kim? Yes, Kim. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Excellent. What I would like to ask you is that just imagine the situation. Your coworker wants the office freezing. You want it warm. How do you negotiate?
Thank you for that almost impossible to answer question, Andre. So I am always freezing. Although, as I reach my older years, I am also hot flashing quite often, causing a lot of heat. As far as negotiating for a renewal of concept of the temperature of the office, I would say that probably the best thing would be maybe to have like a little lottery or have like a little competition to figure it out, because no matter what, cold is not going to work for me. And I would like to think that I could negotiate, maybe do a magic trick to convince them that in their minds that warmer is better. Again, just to get a renewal of concept of this office. I wish I could think of a funny story about how I'm always cold, but I really am. I think it's genetic. And as far as a negotiation technique, maybe just, it's going to be cold, it's going to be hot, like with a daisy, maybe kind of that kind of concept, or rock, paper, scissors, or I'm trying to think of the different types of negotiation techniques that would work. So I'm just going to say that we would try and just have a nice chat, work it all out, and just have a very nice office environment. So thank you very much, Table Topics Master Andre. Back to you.
Thank you, Kim. By listening to you, one thing I realized that I wouldn't personally try in negotiation is having, look, one day is cold, one day is warm. One day is cold, one day is warm. I just don't think that would work. So, well, thank you. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, I wanted to confirm the time. How many more table topics we can squeeze in?
We've probably got time for one more because we only have one evaluation still to come.
Excellent. Then I know the right person to ask this question to. Mr. Andrew Byrne. Just imagine, you burn the burgers to charcoal. How do you pitch them to your guests as a trendy government delicacy?
Thank you very much for that question, Andre. The way I would pitch it is to talk about the value for your health to have the burnt burgers, because it has a charcoal-like effect, absorbing all the poisons that are in your system. So by eating that burnt burger, it's like eating a little bit of charcoal that can absorb all the poisons that are in your system and therefore make you healthy. And the first person that grabs the burnt burgers will be the first one to get it. Give them a FOMO. Give them a reason to go after those burnt burgers. Those are the things that I would consider doing, and try my best not to burn the burgers in the future. Have the timer set, have the thermostat that you can put into the burgers to know that you've heated them long enough. and there are defined temperatures. It has to be at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And to look at those burgers and to make sure you don't make them too fat so that they can't be cooked thoroughly. You have to squeeze them down, make them nice size so that you can heat them effectively, flip them over a couple of times, and reduce the number of burnt burgers, but still keep in all the juices and make it delicious for everyone. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Henry. I know it's about 2 a.m. on Tuesday in Manchester, where I'm calling from, and it just made me feel hungry. Thank you. Well, that I would say that would conclude the table topic session. I hope you enjoy and practice your speaking of the craft skills. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andre, for some fun but still fascinating table topics, and you made us renew our thoughts about things by looking at them from a different point of view. That's pretty much it from me today. I get to stop now because now I get to hand control of the meeting to our club president, who is also the general evaluator. So to round us out to the top of the hour, please allow me to give control to Joni Laidlaw.
Thank you, Graham. Now, if you're doing Rodgers and Hammerstein, I thought it was going to be a theme meeting, so I was expecting at least a song, but I didn't know about this, so you get a pass on the not singing for today, but we'll discuss that later on. We're moving into our evaluation segment, and we've already had our evaluator for our speaker one, who did an excellent job incorporating feedback, not just from her evaluator, which was the first speaker, but she also incorporated the feedback that I gave her as well the last time that I evaluated her. So she took it to another level, and it showed, and I could see that there. We're doing it 2 today. It's like a renewal of evaluation and feedback. Jenny actually is doing her evaluation and feedback speech as well. Now you can start timing me, Annie, because I can't change your hairstyle. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to move into my role as evaluator. Jenny, I loved your pace and your tone. I like the eye contact. You were looking at me while you were talking to me, and that is really, really important when you're trying to make a connection, especially when you're going to have heavy topics like, for example, the anthrax, or I came here, he lost his job. I was worried about my daughter. All of that can hit very hard for an audience, and that personal connection of actually looking at me made the story seem even more comfortable and connected. I loved your spoken language. Now, when we spoke, I said it. I have an accent, so I can't say it. I said it, you speak fast, like I speak fast. And I could see the concerted effort to slow down and enunciate. And it made a huge difference in how your delivery came across. It made it a lot more clear and much, much better when it comes to understanding and your delivery. I like that you removed the background. I don't think I was the one that suggested it. Someone else did. And I like the fact that we're not only incorporating just the feedback because we were told in our last speech that we should put it in, but you're both, actually, you and Simmer, incorporated feedback given from other speeches as well, which is the point of the Toastmasters experience. I loved how you used gestures. That was one of my suggestions. My suggestion was the framing because I wanted to see your gestures and I could see the way you held up the book, etc. What would I suggest that you can improve on? Well, include more gestures. You used phrases that I call action phrases, like in our mind. You said it, but you didn't do it. And that helps with the connection. And also suggest your framing. Now, I always say, if you're online and you can do this and all of your hand is showing, guess what? You're not framed correctly, because there is so much space that if you pull it down, it will help you to flow more naturally with how you actually do your gestures, which would help to demonstrate even more. Overall, though, exemplary use of language, loved the eye contact and the gestures. The personal stories helped with the connection. And I love the fact that you incorporated not just my feedback, but other feedback that I've heard given to you by other evaluators. Excellent job on evaluation and feedback. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Well, thank you. Thank you, evaluator number 2. Now I'm going to ask our speaker, did you feel encouraged by our evaluator? Are you motivated to move on to now become an evaluator for your next meeting? And that would be to Jenny. Did I lose her? Did she not hear? Oh, I was asking if you're motivated to move on to do the role of evaluator for our next meeting with the evaluation that you just received.
I'm sorry, yes.
Excellent. And that is the entire point. Awesome. And that is the point.
I was just going to put, I was just thinking, click an emoji the Ali posted about you. I was distracted.
All right, so we're going to move on to our functionary roles, and we will start with our, since she was called out by Jenny, our counter. Ali, how did we do as it relates to language?
How we did based on the ahs and ums. Clean board. Everybody was absolutely clean, kept track of everybody, listened intently. Nothing to nitpick about tonight, Madam General Evaluator.
Oh, wow. We're acting like an advanced club. Would you look at that? So we're going to move on to our grammarian, Sherry. We did well with the ahs, but did we renew our use of grammar and the word of the day? Let me know.
Well, we did pretty well. As far as the word of the day, I know I probably missed some people, but I did count Jace once, Jenny twice, John once, and Graham once. And Graham may have used it. I don't know if he used it before we got started with the speeches. And as far as language usage, I wish Jace was still on the call. I think he was trying to use the word nuances and he said something else. And Jenny said towers attack and struggles ourselves. So what Jenny could have said is, and I can't remember the full context, but she probably could have said attack on the World Trade Center. And as far as struggles ourselves, she could have said our own struggles. But the one thing that I liked, the phrasing that she used, oh, and then also she used patient, and it should have been patience. But the one phrase that she used that I liked was she said, life doesn't wait for perfect timing. I like that. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sherry, and thank you for paying attention to our use of language. To our watcher, Jim Barber, what did you see?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. What did I see? I saw great things. We are all professionals in our presentations, and kudos to everybody. Want to give special recognition, though, to Simmer. Her background is interesting and yet not distracting and disruptive. So that's a delicate balance to achieve. You did it. You achieved it. Very nice. Timer Annie, I like you. Very creative. I like your clock background for timer. That's excellent done. And let's see, Jenny also. Jenny, you changed your background, but when you were presenting, I giving your speech, I think you indicated that you were presenting from your bathroom. If you hadn't said that, we wouldn't have known. I thought that was very good. You had a plain background to yourself, and then you were balanced with two things on either side. It was just a very well done background. I liked that. That was very good. I have a couple of suggestions. Joni has already called out Jenny, asking her to be a little bit higher in the frame. And the same thing goes to John, but even more so. John, your lighting is great. Everything about your visual presence is great, but you're way too low in the visual frame. Adjust your camera or adjust yourself. That's getting closer. But like Joni said, try to get within a fist length of the top of the screen. But other than that, everybody was great. Back to you, Madam G.
Thank you, Jim, for being so observant for us today. In her role, or should I say renewing her role for the second time because she did such an amazing job the last time she did this role, our newest member who was inducted today, MJ, can you let us know what happened in the chat?
Hi, yes, it was a good conversation. We started out, actually, Joni, you posted the word of the day, renewal, with the definitions, and then you also shared the Toastmasters updated background. Thank you very much. I incorporated that myself. And David Carr shared information and links about the webinar contest that will be on June 15th and the rules. And there were lots of funny comments about the table topics. And Allie posted an image of Joni evaluating in a military officer's uniform. Pretty cute and funny. And that is about it for the chat. Back to you.
Thank you, MJ. Love your observation skills. Excellent job as chat monitor again. Last, but certainly not least, with his handy dandy vote counter tool, David, let me know. One.
All right. So the winners, starting with table topics. John Christensen. Hey, John. Best speaker of the evening. Jenny Ayala. Hey, Jenny. And evaluator, based on timing, really, but Johnny Laidlaw. And she might have gotten it regardless. But it was because of the timing disqualification this evening. So we'll have to get back to Jason on that.
Listen, David, a win is a win.
There
a
we
win
go.
is a win. All right, so thank you so much for that and letting us know who our winners are. Kudos and applause to everyone. Now, overall, we had an excellent meeting. Annie, I didn't ask you the time because you were so efficient. You kept putting them in the chat. We had a very interesting meeting with a very interesting theme. I get bored of the same themes over and over and over and over and over and over. I think I said over a couple too many times, but you know what? That's how it feels. So I like when there is an infusion of a new theme, and I learned something that I didn't know, 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 that I didn't know that I would want to know, because now it's something fascinating that I can go out and look for. And that's the point of the Toastmasters experience, especially table topics, sharing what you know with somebody who might not know. There you go. We've added some interest. I love how all our functionaries performed our roles, and also that we're so adaptable. We're showing off that we're an online club, that an evaluator can evaluate right at the end of a speech and still go overtime with their evaluation. Can you imagine picking up so much in such a short time that you go over? Wow. Overall, though, excellent meeting, excellent theme. And with that, I will return. Well, Graham, do you have any closing comments? Are you going to sing the song for me?
No, you do not want to hear me sing. Believe me, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. There's a reason why I was on the other side of the microphone than the music. It got played off CDs or records. I just spoke. No, I got nothing. So if you want to wrap us up as president, guest comments, all that sort of stuff.
Excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And with that, I am going to call our meeting adjourned because, as we all know, with our guests,